Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of United Talks podcast. And it's another United Talks live today, 26th, 22nd of October. And mine's forwarding time. Anyway, I know that most people are busy, catching up on Champions League games. Some I hate watching Liverpool. Right now, just to give you an update of the score lines. Bayern Munich or Atlanta are winning. Slavia Prague still drawing against Slavia Prague at 32nd minute. We have Bayern Munich versus Club Brugge 2-0 already. Chelsea are 2-0 up against Ajax, with Ajax having a red card already. And Frankfurt have scored Liverpool. Oh my God. Liverpool have now just kept 2 clean sheets in their last 18 games across all competitions, conceding 28 goals in total. It is going crazy, guys. Oh my days. 26 minutes is 31 now. 5 minutes later. Yeah, it's crazy. But I'm currently following the Juve versus Real Madrid game, or Real Madrid versus Juve game. And it's looking like a good game for Real Madrid, but it's 0-0 at the moment. Let's see if we can catch up with the Liverpool game. Just because we want to hate watch. That's pretty much what it is. And try Frankfurt, Liverpool. Let's go there and see what's going on. So pretty much straightforward. Basically, today we have kind of like a packed show, but we'll be giving you updates from the Champions League as well as we watch it together. It's a full show, basically, a continuation of pretty much what we had yesterday. And yeah, it is what it is. Just catching up on the Liverpool game. It's looking like a pretty hostile atmosphere at Frankfurt. 32 minutes gone. Frankfurt 1, Liverpool 0. Anyway, let's keep going. Monaco are still 0-0 Tottenham. Real Madrid 0-0 Juventus. Liverpool have a corner. Marseille have scored against Sporting Club de Portugal. And yeah, we'll just keep going. We're gonna have fun today. Just basically, having chats and stuff. Join in. When you join, please like, share, and subscribe. Liverpool are pressing. And yeah. Okay. Frankfurt has a foul. Okay, we'll keep going. Pretty fun to watch. Liverpool collapse. I can't capitulate, but it is what it is. Yeah, join in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe as well. Yesterday we talked about a few things and all of that, but there are some people that are that have been involved in this team that have been seen as heroes. But on today's show, we basically have Harry Maguire in talks for a new contract, which we talked about yesterday. The update is that he's going to get an extension at a reduced wage, and nothing much has changed from there. Senne Lammens, we're going to talk about Senne Lammens. We're also going to talk about Matheus Cunha. We're also going to talk about Mason Mount. Yeah, we're going to talk about Mason Mount. We're going to talk about also the transfer updates with regards to interests, which is our main headline today. Interest for Elliot Anderson. And then the next game we'll talk about just a bit before we start planning towards the preview. And it seems like Frankfurt nearly scored Liverpool, and Liverpool have a counter-attack. And Hugo Ekitike is 1-1 with the keeper, and he scores, and it's 1-1. Hugo Ekitike scores against his former team, and he doesn't celebrate, and it's 1-1. What a goal from Hugo Ekitike. Now hit watching is almost failing. So, yeah. Let's see. So Frankfurt had an attack. Liverpool defended, and he got a through pass, and that was it. Frankfurt were caught napping. This is what it is. Ekitike just had everything, and it's raining. It's raining there. And then he doesn't celebrate, kind of gives his fans like the, yeah. It's like it's looking like Kate Watch is about to fail, but let's see how that goes. He almost missed it. Plays it between the goalkeeper's legs. So, but isn't it ironic? It's like it's the story of the day, basically, that a former player would score against his old team. So Ogegetike scores for Liverpool, and it's 1-1. 1 goal in 3 matches in the Champions League. So, like I said, we'll do it. We'll touch up on the next game against Brighton. But it is what it is. Join us. Like, share, subscribe. Like the video. Smash the like button. Share it so we can have conversations, have people join in, and all of that. So we'll start with just a bit of, some transfer updates and stuff. No, first of all, let's touch up on the under 21s. I watched I saw the updates yesterday about the Man United under 21s losing to Barnsley. That's the League 2 side, I think, with Jack Fletcher scoring the goal and being sent off. And that's pretty much what it is. Jack Fletcher was sent off for dissent after scoring the opening goal in the 5-2 defeat. Also, Diego Leon made his second competitive appearance for the under 21s, putting in an encouraging performance in front of Director of Football Jason Wilcox. So then, with regards to first team news, we just touch on that. We touched on it yesterday, but Harry Maguire, defender, was praised by former player Paul Scholes for his brilliant performance, or brilliant match-winning performance against Liverpool, where he scored the late winner. Now, negotiations for a new contract extension for the centre-back are reportedly on the way. We'll keep our eye out for that, and whatever comes up, we will let you all know. As for Senne Lammens, we'll talk in more details about that. Frankfurt has a corner kick, and Liverpool has a corner kick. Frankfurt defends it, and it's looking like Szoboszlai is playing at right back. I don't know what's wrong with Arne Slot in this one, man. It is what it is. Next one is, we'll talk about Senne Lammens a little bit, but Senne Lammens seems to be undroppable. He's being called the new undroppable following the solid performance against Liverpool. Lammens has brought a needed sense of calm to the United defense. I'm going to give my take on this Senne Lammens situation. Senne Lammens here, I think him just being in the team, like something totally different from Arthur Bender, what we're used to, or Andre Nana, what most people are used to as well, gives us a sense of kind of like confidence when it comes to, the way we approach games, the way Manchester United approach games and stuff. It gives us a sense of confidence having Senne Lammens there. But it is what it is. We actually, Man United fans maybe overreacting, but to some extent, Liverpool get a second goal. And who scored the goal? Let's see, Andy Robertson? Yeah, Andy Robertson. So, who scored? Oh, Van Dijk. Yeah. So they're not going to lose their 5th consecutive game. So it is what it is. Frankfurt are no match for them anyway, even after scoring first. Let's see. Yeah, Van Dijk scored the goal. This is only where he has the strength in it. When it comes to defending, he's always pushing the thing back to other people to do the defending for them. We go over to the Juventus game. I think the hate watch is done for this one. We go to the Juventus game. And the next one is pretty much straightforward. Matheus Cunha, forward, Manchester United forward, has been, his performance against Liverpool has drawn praise. Him and Mbumo basically have actually drawn praise from like fans, and like it is underrated how important Mbumo is to this Man United team. Like, It is so underrated how Brian Bomo is, how important Brian Bomo is to this Man United team. We can't over. Yeah, Real Madrid on the attack against Juventus, and Brahim Diaz just kind of got fouled by the edge of the box. I'm also looking out for. I think I'm looking out for Dusan Vlahovic at this point in time. Yeah, so Matheus Cunha has drawn praise for his performance against Liverpool, with some comparing his grit and skill to Eric Cantona. Yeah, kind of like what you have with the is that a penalty? Well, the referee was looking for it. Let's see. He held him from outside the box, stopped him from going, left him. Oh, he hit the heel of the the Juventus defender. But it is what it is. It's fine. He's up already. Yeah, Matheus Cunha is seen as one of those maverick kind of players. And Eric Cantona was seen as a maverick player at the time. Yeah, pretty much interesting. Then you have the Mason Mount is also ready. Is ready for the next game. I think they say he's fully fit and will take advantage of a lighter schedule to stay healthy. So I think he's been given like 60 minutes or 1 hour in every game and all of that. So it's pretty straightforward for him. The next one is with regards to transfers. We'll talk in details, but let's just talk about this one. Transfers. Oihan Sancet. United are reportedly interested in signing Athletic Bilbao's midfielder Oihan Sancet for a potential £60 million fee. I don't know how true that is, but we will keep you guys updated just to check on how it is going. Ajax have scored, so it's 2-1 Chelsea. Marseille are still leading 1-0 close to the end of first half, 43 minutes on all games. So we'll just be checking, and you don't have any conversations about the games, but I'm following the Real Madrid versus Juventus game. Then back to the news. We'll check other news, but yeah, back to the news so far. Ooh, what is that? Ooh, and then Kylian Mbappe missed. Let's see, Brahim Diaz passed to Mbappe, goalkeeper, amazing save. Now, yeah, £60 million. I don't know. Sorry about that. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how Man United intends to approach that game. I mean, that player, Oihan Sancet, and what we intend to do to be able to get the player, you know, to come to the club. But £60 million is a stretch for a player who, I mean, we don't really like. I watched him not watching Atletico or Athletic Bilbao with the mindset of watching Oihan Sancet, but I heard people say he's such a good player. But I watched him when we were playing in the Europa League last season, so I could tell, you know, this guy knows ball, right? But I mean, I would have to do a deeper research or deeper dive to find out what we can find out about Oihan Sancet. The next person we have on our list is Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson, the club is showing interest in Nottingham Forest midfielder Elliot Anderson. We'll go deeper into it. There's a news out there, you know, talking about it. And then we have Endrick as well. Endrick has popped up. Endrick is of interest and is a possible loan for Real Madrid's Endrick in January. And we all know the upcoming fixture for Man United is against Brighton and Hove Albion at Old Trafford on Saturday. So we'll talk a bit about this Endrick guy, because we need to even find out what that news is all about with regards to Endrick. And then we'll talk about, so Manchester United are keen on Endrick. This news is, Yahoo Sports is carrying it. And it was reported by 90 Minutes. Manchester United keen on signing exit-bound Real Madrid teenager Endrick. According to the update from Defensa Central, okay, Mbappe, sat him down. My day, sat the next person and squared it, and then this guy will blast it over. Let's see. Yeah, let's see who's that. Oh, that is this defender, what's that his name again? Yeah, he blazes it over the bar, almost missed the chance. Now, according to an update from Defensa Central, Man United have shown interest in Endrick, in signing Real Madrid's Brazilian forward Endrick on loan during January transfer window with an option to make the move permanent next summer. It is known that the 19-year-old is regarded as one of the brightest young prospects, and Real Madrid continue to see him as a long-term asset. However, with the team boasting one of the most competitive attacking line in Europe, Endrick has found regular minutes had to come by. Okay. Despite the impressive displays in limited appearances last season, he has fallen behind the likes of Kylian Mbappe, Vini Jr., Franco Mastantuono, who's also, I think, 19, I think. Then we have Gonzalo Garcia and Rodrigo in the pecking order. Now, Endrick, growing frustrated over limited minutes, reports from England, I thought they said from Defensa Central, anyway, from England, has claimed that Endrick has expressed his frustration at Real Madrid, warning that if his situation does not improve, he will look to secure a loan move in January. His primary goal is to play consistent football in order to continue developing, especially with next summer's World Cup on the horizon. Several clubs, including Juventus, Newcastle, and West Ham, are also said to be keeping a close eye on the situation. Endrick might leave on loan. However, Man United are reportedly the most serious contenders willing to offer the regular minutes an option to make the deal permanent if the loan goes well. What's the source for that? Basically, just give me a quick sec. What's the source for that one? Right. Yeah, what's the source for that? Inside Santiago Bernabeu, the view is that the club still believes Endrick will become the undisputed starter in the future. Sources close to Real Madrid insist that while the player's short-term frustrations are understandable, the coaching staff see his long-term development as part of their project. Although Endrick is said to be pushing for a loan to gain valuable first-team experience, he is not planning to say goodbye to Real Madrid permanently. The youngster sees his future at the Spanish club and remains determined to prove himself under Xabi Alonso once the opportunity arises. For now, though, his short-term goal is to secure a place in the Brazil national team for the World Cup. I don't think he's even going to make that World Cup national team because that Brazil national team is stacked. It's really stacked. And then the Oihan Sancet situation, Man United, this is from today, basically earlier today. Man United are willing to offer 60 million to sign La Liga midfielder Oihan Sancet. They're reportedly showing interest in Sancet. This is according to Sportsmo. Who's that? What is going on? First half is done. Real Madrid players are complaining. I think maybe they were on the attack. Man United are reportedly showing keen interest in signing Athletic Bilbao's attacking midfielder Oihan Sancet. Attacking midfielder again, who has emerged as the top target for the Red Devils. Since progressing through the youth academy, Bilbao, Sancet has made over 200 appearances for the Basque club, scoring 43 goals. 25-year-old is seen as La Liga's biggest talent and one of La Liga's biggest talent, and several Premier League clubs are said to be vying for his signature after he scored 17 goals in 24-25 season, his best season. The best season of his career. Now, the attacking midfielder has made gradual progress since 2019, and he embodies the essence of Bilbao's sporting project, which is based on youth and commitment. According to reports from Fichajes, Man United are, how do you pronounce this guy? Fichajes. Yeah, Fichajes. Man United are willing to offer a fee of around 60 million to sign the attacking midfielder, as they feel that the Navarres footballer fits their criteria. Yeah, Sancet is an attacking mid. We already have two attacking mids and we still have two like on the bench. Like that's, yeah. Amorim has Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes, two quality attacking midfielders, but Sancet can provide something extra which should benefit the Red Devils in the long run. This is just it looks like an opinion piece, but according to Fichajes, yeah. Speaking of other news, before we get to the Elliot Anderson situation, let's talk about the Matheus Cunha one. Let's see. Okay, yeah, let's talk about Matheus Cunha. So this is actually kind of like a fallout from the Liverpool game. The heroes, the hype, and the healing. So basically, for what it seems like for Man United and what we should be doing moving forward. The transfer talk is basically exciting. Talking about bringing in a new player is actually exciting, but let's bring back to the players that have earned their historic win. The victory was a huge collective. This is with regards to the Liverpool game, but two individuals on either end of the pitch are drawing high praise. Cunha versus Cantona. Now, the ultimate praise that came from that game was that Cunha was likened to Eric Cantona. So let's start with Matheus Cunha. Ex-Liverpool player Stephen Warnock had some incredible high praise for forwards performance on Sunday. Now let's give you get my words out. Let's give you a bit of a background about Stephen Warnock. Stephen Warnock does not like Man United. That's the background I have. He does not like Man United. But when to come out and say stuff on Sky Sports to say that he thought that on Sunday Cunha was outstanding and best player on the pitch by a country mile. But that's a wild take anyway, but it is what it is. He was the best player on the pitch, but not by a country mile. Everybody was good on the day. Everybody delivered. He said then came the money quote. You know, I don't want to throw out a big name to compare him to, but I'm going to. Why make that statement yeah. He says, I don't want to throw out a big name to compare him to, but I'm going to. Eric Cantona. Okay? This is a comparison that will send chills down the spine of every United fan, especially those who watch Eric Cantona. Cantona is king. Cunha is a new signing. He has had a slow start with injuries, and yet his all-round play, his ability, his link with the midfield and attack, his confidence on the ball, and his sheer personality impressed to the point of drawing that kind of historic comparison. He's proven to be much more than a goal scorer. He's a catalyst, a focal point who brings others into the game. Which breaks... Okay, this is the goal that Frankfurt scored. Wow. Bottom left, and yeah. Then Ekitike makes it 1-1 at 35 minutes, counter attack. And then Liverpool score from a set piece to make it 2-1. So I'm guessing they'll finish the game up from here now. So this comparison will send chills down the spine of most. Oh, Konate also scored. So what happened then? Oh, Konate made it 3-1. I didn't follow that. Oh, it's 3-1 Liverpool. Konate, two defenders score. Then we'll have Bayern Munich, first goal. Ooh. Rúben Dias. No, not Rúben Dias. What's this guy's name? Luis Diaz. One goal. That is sick. Chelsea are 4-1 up. So update 3-0 Club Brugge, Bayern Munich. That's Bayern Munich Club Brugge. Chelsea Ajax at home 4-1. Frankfurt Liverpool away at home. Frankfurt at home 1-3. Monaco Tottenham 0-0. Real Madrid Juventus 0-0. Sporting Marseille 0-1. Marseille just got a red card. And that's it, pretty much. So, speaking of Eric Cantona and Matheus Cunha, the comparison with send chills down the span of every Man United fan. Obviously, Cantona is king. Cunha is a new signing and he had a slow start with injuries, and yet his all-round play, his ability to link up with the midfield and attack, his confidence on the ball, and his sheer personality impressed to the point of drawing the kind of historical comparison. He's proven to be much more than, a goal scorer, right? He's a catalyst, a focal point who brings others into the game. We're also going to go to the exact quote that was made with regards to Cunha being that, and there were some stats to go with it. He was involved in everything in the game. Some deep analysis, and that's according to the Athletic anyway. Even though the Athletic have been questionable with some of their takes this season, but Matheus Cunha brings great skill, grit and skill to Manchester United, but the much needed MUFC. That's a very weird title. When Matheus Cunha arrived at Man United in August, the club was in desperate need of a lift. Defeating the Europa League final meant that Rúben Amorim's side would be without European football, and fans had little idea of direction the club wanted to move in. Pundits wondered how long it would take for United to be able to compete again. I think we'll just probably do a deeper dive into this, and we will analyze especially the player himself, Matheus Cunha. Then what's the next one? The next news we have, or the next update we're going to be talking about, is Senne Lammens. Senne Lammens has been incredible for Man United. Considered one goal. He's considered one goal in 2 games. In times like this, we'll probably be considering like 3 or 4 goals, but consider less goals this season. Excuse me. So the unexpected, he's kind of like tagged as the unexpected wall, and he's, we just spoke of the one side of the pitch. We're going to talk about the other side of the pitch, which is the defense and the goalkeeping. He's a new hero basically for Man United fans. Since coming into the side, he has had the best save percentage of any goalkeeper in the Premier League this season. Lammens has 88.9% save percentage. The Vera is 83.3%, and then Roofs is 81.3%, and 88.9% save percentage is an excellent and frankly a vital start for his Manchester United career. Every great United team has been built on a solid foundation, and Lammens is providing that last line of defense with a high level of performance. It's early days, but the numbers suggest United may have found a long-term number 1 to anchor the new team. Senne Lammens. We could talk on and on about this player. We could praise his ability to deliver. We could talk about how good he is and everything. But I want us to remember something. Who remembers the first game for Andre Onana? The first game for Andre Onana, if you remember, we lost 2 games back to back. I think it's Brighton, Brentford. 2 games back to back. We've played Brentford. We're about to face Brighton, so we see how that goes. But we lost 2 games back to back, and Onana was in net and was seen as the best goalkeeper in the world, even the best goalkeeper from Champions League final, and all of that. So a whole lot been going on that front with regards to Andre Onana, and then next thing we replace him with a keeper that has had 2 games already this season, and his 2 games he was spectacular, albeit okay, how did Bayern Munich are just cutting through Club Brugge. Who is that defensive midfielder that Man United was interested in? Are we gonna let that happen? Who is that? Wow. This guy's name is Carl, K-A-R-L, Bayern Munich player. Sick. Yeah, so pretty much straightforward. That is Senne Lammens. So when we had the new goalkeeper come in, it felt like, okay, basically, we had someone who at least has had 2 games now at Man United, and in those 2 games he's delivered. So it's something for us to actually think about, or for us to actually ponder over and say, okay, this guy is going to be here long term. Do we have a backup option for him? I mean, I keep mentioning Radek Vitek, but Vitek is one goalkeeper that has been performing really well in the championship, I think, for Bristol City, but he is doing really well, and we have to just basically be very I think, very aware of the fact that Man United have scored points here, getting a goalkeeper for £21 million. And then basically, or 18 million pounds, 18 million pounds, 17 million pounds. Now, getting a goalkeeper for that cheap, and then he's delivering and all of that, then it begs the question as to, okay, who is next now? Are we letting, obviously, Onana is not going to find his way back into this team. Altabander could potentially leave to Turkey. You never can tell. Maybe not Galatasaray. Maybe Fenerbahce might need a goalkeeper and all of that. But it is what it is. I mean, he came from Turkey, so it's most likely going to be back to Turkey or even Spain or even a Premier League team. But he's good for a Premier League team, but not the Premier League, not the Man United level. So, it is what it is. What's the next one? So basically, he's proving, that the defense needed that high level of confidence. And it's early days, but the numbers suggest that Man United must have found their long-term goalkeeping solution. And we'll move on to Martinez returning for Man United and the delete comparison. In the defensive line, there is more good news. Obviously, Lisandro Martinez is expected to join his Man United teammates in full training this week after a more cautious return and as originally planned. Getting the butcher back will be a huge boost to the defense, and he will slot back in alongside, perhaps maybe learn from Matheus de Ligt. But the game will be too fast for him. That's what I think for Lisandro Martinez. The game might probably be too fast for him. His defensive stats this season are proving exactly why he was brought in. That's Matheus de Ligt, I mean. And I think I've done a video about him, about how consistent he's been for Man United this season. De Ligt versus Man United centre backs in the Premier League this season, he has the most touches, 468. This is versus Man United centre backs this season. The most clearances, 42. He's also had the most aerial duels contested, 45. The most aerial duels won. 25. Most tackles won, 12. More than any Manchester United centre back. So he's shown some consistency and consistent performance. And that is Matheus de Ligt for you. He's the dominant physical and technical presence at the heart of the defense, winning every measurable duel against his own teammates. His return to full fitness, combined, that's the return to full fitness of Lisandro Martinez, combined with, the imminent, obviously, that is Del Piero. It looks good. Del Piero is in Spain, Madrid, doing the follow up, the match analysis of Real Madrid versus Juventus. So obviously, when Lisandro Martinez returns to full fitness and Matheus de Ligt is being consistent and all of that, it gives Amorim a defensive foundation that all great teams need, and the healing process is nearing its end. Basically, second half is about to begin for Real Madrid versus Juventus, and the full strength United defense is a terrifying prospect. Everybody's talking about Arsenal and how good their defense is. No doubt, their defense is so good. But my United defense will probably be, a good match for them. So we will, we will talk about the bigger picture towards the end of this. But now, 33 minutes gone in the stream, we're going to analyze basically the Elliot Anderson situation at Man United. We'll see different outlets, but I'll give you my take and all of that. And I had a conversation on live stream at Stretford Post where we talked about this Elliot Anderson with a Nottingham Forest fan, and obviously from the camp of the Nottingham Forest fans, Elliot Anderson is going away. That's a fact. Manchester United now they said Manchester United may have found their new playmaker. Okay, we shall see where this is headed. This is according to Foot Africa. Man United has found its future midfield maestro. Man United could be well ready to join the race for Elliot Anderson. The young Nottingham Forest midfielder is ready. Is already setting the Premier League alight. At just 22, the former Newcastle protege is one of the hottest names in English top flight after two dazzling seasons. the new this guy says he's the new Red Devils coach. He's no more new, but Rúben Amorim has made strengthening the midfield his top priority in 2026. Anderson, who can operate in both as a deep line playmaker and in a box-to-box role, fits the desired profile perfectly. His versatility and maturity have impressed the Manchester United hierarchy, who see him as the ideal alternative to Bruno Fernandes. Should Bruno Fernandes leave or Casemiro renew his contract, which expires in the summer. So there's a potential that Bruno Fernandes will leave, and I see Elliot Anderson as that Bruno replacement, that direct Bruno replacement. He's such a good player. But in that conversation with the Nottingham Forest fan, he said obviously that Elliot Anderson is going nowhere, and that speaks really well about where they see their player. They want to keep him. Juventus have an attack, it's a counter-attack, a ball that has been switched to the left side, and obviously Fede Valverde is so good at defending. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Then Thuram crosses the ball, and yep. Juventus and Real Madrid are two teams that, ooh, missed that. Oh, my days. So it was Eder Militao that missed that goal, but this one, he shot it too late. Eder Militao is coming to good form though. The Militao is coming to good form. He seems very and then there was Fernandes Carreras. The good block. So Juventus have a corner. That was close. So speaking of Elliot Anderson, such a good player who probably would do a player profile for this guy. Try to find out, what he brings to the team, what he brings to Man United and stuff. Juventus have a shot and it's blazed over the bar. So what he brings to the team and what he can, do for Man United. Because for me, I don't feel like Elliot Anderson, what's his name? Marinakis is going to be a good guy to do business with for Elliot Anderson. Yeah. This is pretty much straightforward. I don't know what you guys think. What do you guys think about Elliot Anderson? Me, I like him. I watch him, and I probably will watch him tomorrow, just to get a sense of an idea of the kind of player he is. I've been watching him, where Forest play in Premier League. I just go look out for, if the Man United are not playing, I just go look out for Elliot Anderson, for Nottingham Forest, and see, okay, how is this Man United prospect playing? So I can be able to tell you guys like what I am thinking about the player, so that when we're doing like a player profile, we will have something very solid, to go with or to go for when we're talking about Anderson and stuff. But yeah, it is what it is. We have to just move on. Now we'll talk about the Endrick. Okay, I think we talked about the Endrick situation. We talked about it. It's just a rumor. Yeah. Now, another one is with this Harry Maguire situation. Obviously, secured the victory. There's a fallout. Now, I wanted to make... Okay, before that, BBC can reveal via Team Talk that Maguire would be willing to take a pay cut in order to make or agree in a deal. That's to make agreeing a deal happen. While the extent of the pay cut is open to uncertain... While the extent of the pay cut Maguire is open to is uncertain, his readiness to take one is a positive indication that talks could progress pretty quickly. The 2-year-old currently earns around £190,000 a week. Given that he's nearing the twilight of his career, it is understandable that United want to retain him at reduced wages, even though he remains an important part of Amorim's plan. Maguire and United are back in action on Sunday when they face Brighton and Hove Albion at home at Old Trafford. Yeah, so pretty much straightforward. This according to the People's Person. So I mean, there's been some mistakes here and there, but yeah, the Maguire station, I mean, we just give him the contract. There's no need to kind of think of waiting and all of that. And then this news from Manchester Evening News. Oh, Dusan Vlahovic just missed that one. Not missed it though, just hit it. And then what's it with Belgian goalkeepers and defending with their feet? Courtois just defended that ball with his feet. We have one Courtois 2.0 in our team. So now this report says Rúben Amorim is close to having exactly what he needs at Manchester United. The atmosphere around Manchester United's current training ground this week, Juventus have a corner and Courtois saves the corner. Ooh, okay. Go is surprised. The atmosphere around Manchester United Carrington training ground this week should be joyous after the club's exploits on Sunday. Ahead of the game with Liverpool, you could see that Rúben Amorim was a whole lot lighter after the victory over Sunderland prior to the international break. However, an away win over your fiercest rivals for the first time in nearly a decade will breed confidence and leave Amorim feeling, though he's walking on air. Before the clash, with Liverpool, United had a couple of injury concerns. Lisandro Martinez was the only definite absentee as his recovery from the ACL injury continues. I know where this is going. Real Madrid has a chance. Brigivini, and as always, he tries to place it, and it is defended. Now, my Manchester Evening News Sports understands that Martinez is likely to be out of action until November, while the only other issue of note was Nusra Majraoui, with Amorim unsure if he could play a part this weekend. Yeah. Amorim was unsure if he could play a part at Anfield, but Majraoui was fit enough to feature on the bench, meaning ahead of the clash with Brighton, just Martinez is out with injury. That is amazing. I know we've not had a lot of games this season, but to come into the season and not have as many injury concerns as Ten Hag's first 2 seasons and as well last season, and then obviously Amorim coming in and we're still having injuries left, right and center. In February, Kubimenu, Tobakolia, Ahmad, Manuel Gatti were all unavailable for one reason or another, just before Martinez suffered this serious injury. If by some miracle United did not have a long list of injuries and a relentless, audacious schedule, forced Amorim to rotate his squad anyway. While nobody at United will be pleased about having plenty of free midweeks this season, it has allowed the Reds to nurture players back to full fitness, most importantly, and keep them there. Mount is arguably the main benefactor. Amorim having a full set of players to choose from for a match squad may seem a luxury that Premier League managers rarely get, and one of those at the top to have to work around modern day football. But United must now take full advantage and build a winning run, and everybody senses this. Like, I'm not the only one. I know you guys sense it. We could potentially go on a 4-game or 3 or 5-game winning run. Brighton play in the UEFA Conference League, I think. Let's see. Let's check out our next game and then I'll tell you. I think Brighton play in the UEFA Conference League. Second half is on 0-0 Atlanta Slavia Prague, 3-0 Bayern Munich Club Brugge. Chelsea are 5-1 up. Liverpool are 1-3 up. Monaco 0-0, Real Madrid 0-0. Marseille 0-1. Marseille leading. Vlahovic missed a big chance for Real Madrid, for Juventus. Let's see. Okay. Now, let's go to Man United's next game, Friday, Saturday. So go to Man United's next game and I'll tell you, now Brighton, I was just trying to check out if, Real Madrid have a chance. And that's Mbappe with the ball. Ooh, caught him. Ooh, oh, shit. Is it a handball? Nah, I won't call that. So Brighton will probably, what's Brighton's fixtures right now? I think they're supposed to, they have the whole week. So they're not even in Europe. They face Man United. They beat Newcastle. In the last 3 games, Brighton have 1-2, drawn 1. And they beat Chelsea and Newcastle. That is sick. Anyway, so we faced Brighton, and so why I remembered that is because of our the midweek that we have. Like we have free midweeks now, so we don't have to worry about yeah, I'm coming to you. We have a free midweek now, so we don't have any bigger injuries, even though I was going to think about it, right? But then the players now have time. I mean, you've seen this a lot in the pictures and images that we see on the Man United website and social media, that the players are now going to the gym, doing strength training and all of that. So it makes them, always available. Hopefully, Thuram just blocked the shot. Hopefully, long may it continue. We have a full, clean bill of health. ITN has joined us on the chat. Big up to you too, bro. I really appreciate. It says 1 week a game is definitely why the injuries are low. Yep, but as we get back to Europe, I want the injuries to stay low. Yeah. Now, Real Madrid just, let's see. Okay, Juventus. It's like Juventus are already having the better, cleaner chances. I can understand with the injury part, which means that for us to reduce the volume of the injuries, we need to sign more players. We need to sign at least 3, 4, or even 5 more players next season. So if we start from January to build ahead of, going to Europe and stuff, because most definitely some players will leave. Vinny is just turning these guys. Ooh, Mbappe scores. Wow. Oh, Jude Bellingham scores. Vinny was turning them left, right, and center. Flick like. Let's see if he was offside though. Jude Bellingham scores. Wow. Real Madrid are 1-0 up. It was a tight game. Let's see. Okay, Vinny turn 1, turn 2, turn back the same 1, 3, and shoots it and he hits the post. Yeah, Bellingham came from onside to score. So 1-0 up for Jude Bellingham scores. Juventus players were sleeping over there. So basically, Man United will have clean bill of health this season. Hopefully, we shall long may continue with all of the players that are going to be available for us at Man United. Just reaching about other news. So we're going to talk about Arne Slot now, because I saw this everywhere. I mean, you saw where Danny Murphy at TalkSport was saying that, was trying to defend Arne Slot's comments post-match. But we have a bit of an update. It wasn't criticism, and it's not Liverpool backtracks. And it's Slot Liverpool that's the thing with the people's person. And a Slot Liverpool backtracks on salty Man United comments. So his remarks: United pulled off sensational victory over Liverpool at Anfield, handing Slot and his players the 4th consecutive defeat across all competitions. Brian Bomo broke the deadlock. Obviously, we all know that despite having the momentum and home advantage, it was United who scored the next goal. Now he makes his U-turn. This was on TNT Sport. I think he couldn't give interview because I think Liverpool were stuck. I think we're stuck at Liverpool because of their transportation logistic issue. But Slot on TNT Sport says we faced a team that had their game plan very, very well in order. There was a bit of a debate over what I said after the game, so he has gone to listen and watch, and then he backtracks. But if it was meant to be a complaint, so they had a low block and played a lot of long balls. I was asked why it was difficult, and that was the reason. Wow. Still giving excuses anyway, but they're winning, so just keep quiet, right? there was a bit of a debate over what I said after the game, but it was meant he said, but it was meant to be a compliment. Okay, I didn't see that. Slot added, it wasn't criticism, it was me trying to explain why the game was made difficult. If you win the ball back after they've played a long ball, there are 11 players behind the ball. I would add that to a certain extent, I was positive that they created as many chances as we did. Against Crystal Palace, we were able to create a lot against a low block, the same against United, but not many games since I've been in charge have we've been able to create many chances against a 5-4-1 low block. He still keeps calling it, he still keeps calling it a 5-4-1, but it is what it is. I'll come to you, ITN. Patience. It wasn't meant as a criticism at all. It was a very smart game plan, and certainly their last 3 signings, 2 of them for sure, had an impact on the game in Matheus Cunha and Brian Bumo. Yeah. Now, ITN is saying, we'll break this down before we kind of wrap it up here. ITN is saying Slot is obviously overwhelmed by his position, and he's trying by his position in trying to defend a title. He's not ready for this process, and it's showing now. It is what it is. Yeah. Yep. So, facts. The truth is, he's won a title before. I mean, that title he won was last season, right, with Liverpool. But he has never tried to work hard to defend his title. So it's always a bigger issue. I think Thuram has been subbed off, and Francisco Conceição has been brought on. Real Madrid versus Juventus, 62 minutes now. 1-0 to Real Madrid. Jude Bellingham scores. Hopefully, Kylian Mbappe continues his goal scoring streak. He continues to score in every game. So, is this not this former Arsenal player? This former Arsenal player that played Greek international. Okay. So, let's look at that lineup. Now it's getting me worried. I need to see that. Yeah. Liverpool have set 3-1 up. I was watching at first, but yeah. Let's see the guy. Yeah, that's Coop Miners. Coop Miners, I thought it was that former Arsenal player. He's such a good player too as well. Very aggressive defensive. Real Madrid have a counter. Vini has a bad touch, and then the ball goes out. Obviously, they're playing a 4-1-2-3 or 4-3-3 as the case may be. And Juventus has the ball at the edge of the box. Is it offside? That was Dusan Vlahovic. Shoot and boom. Weak shot. Just to ITN's point, basically. Just to ITN's point, and the Slot has never been in this situation, so it's expected that it is expected that basically he will feel the pressure of being at the situation where he has to defend his title and everything in between. But yeah, it is what it is. We have to just kind of, bask in our victory, which brings me to another part of the point that I saw from some fans. I did a short video about it. Some fans analyzing the game and nitpicking. They're saying, that why does Bruno take risks? Okay, that was actually Mbappe. He seems to be slipping these days, or slipping in this game before shooting when he tries to break quickly. So he tries to break and then he slips. So he's not hitting the ball really well. So I've seen fans criticizing Man United and saying, why is Bruno Fernandes always taking risks? But I said something. I said, if you don't take risks, how will you score? How will you create chances? Bruno gets the chance and somebody says, Man United did really well. Man United played against Liverpool really, really well. And this and that. But Bruno had a bad game, a very, very bad game. I'm like, it's not that deep. Bruno had a bad game. Is that what you're saying? Because if I can remember correctly, he had a heavy touch. Couple times he had a heavy touch, and we can't deny it that sometimes the passes that came to him in that game, I think 2 of those passes were heavy, right? So when he tries to control the ball, it goes away from him because it was heavy. Not saying that Bruno cannot take a heavy pass, but it's not all day. Like, one person makes 2 or 3 mistakes, that's fine. But if you're nitpicking and saying the person must be perfect, the other one say, why should he put a hopeful ball into the box? Bro, the guy saw De Ligt, and in fact, he saw De Ligt, Maguire, and even Patrick Dogo on that side. So, I mean, appreciate the win. Except for people in the Sun who are trying to analyze the situation. One of the analysts was saying, "Oh, Bruno, it's very, how do I call this now? That it's very few players that can hit the ball at one touch, half volley into that area." And the guy was like, was he trying to hit Harry Maguire actually? Was he trying to hit the ball to Harry Maguire, or was just a hopeful ball? I'm like, bro, give your praises where praises are due, man. Give your praises where praises are due. You don't need to try to find a way to, play low on this stuff. The nitpicking fans always give Bruno hell. Yeah, ITN is saying that. Oh, one chance. I think that was Brahim Diaz just dribbling too much. I think Real Madrid is full of a lot of individual players playing in the front. The rest are so good. And also, I don't know whether it's well. Let's leave it like that. Let me not just make a wild take right now. Anyway, the nitpicking fans always give Bruno hell, but when he wins us matches, they stay quiet or agree that he's a great player. Delusional people live live. Don't worry about them. Yeah, facts. Yeah, I'm not worried. I just thought to bring it up because I noticed that that's kind of like a constant trend right now where Bruno plays well. Oh yeah, but he shouldn't be taking risks. Bruno doesn't play well. Oh, he's a net negative. That's the new one I heard, I think last season. Oh, was that Montatuono? Oh, that's Valverde. He's always having those puck shots. Bruno plays well. Oh, Bruno is taking too many risks. He's always out of position. This and that. I showed you guys yesterday. 22 chances created in the Premier League. 22. I mean, that's sick, man. And he still keeps creating chances. And it's not like... And then, let's not get started with the Athletic, because the Athletic came up with one research like that. They've kind of diluted themselves into the mainstream media. They came up with one research about how Manchester United take 25% of their shots outside the box at ridiculous times from 25 yards. I'm like, what? And a big content creator, Steven Housen, made a proper analysis on this, and I was pretty impressed by how deep he went, analyzing how the Athletic have just tried to create a narrative that actually doesn't exist with regards to Manchester United. But it is what it is. We have to, like I said to you guys, and I always say to you guys, every time you see any news about Manchester United, don't just look at the headlines, dig deep, because they might actually be clickbaiting. We could also use other channels to actually find out what they're actually saying, or we'll bring it down to this channel and break it down for you and analyze it straight up, right? So that you don't start taking anything that they give to you and all of that. You have to dig deep and try to find the real reason why certain news have been released and stuff like that. So it is what it is. The nitpicking guys, kudos to you guys. You guys are just being too negative and all of that. But yeah, today we basically, just to give you on the final note, we talked about Harry Maguire's new contract. We talked about transfers, Man United's interest in Adam Wharton. ITN saying, bro, it's a sickness. These people suffer at this point. Bruno has been like this since he joined and has never missed matches and always gives something crucial. Most players can't do that. Yeah, like if you talk about players who have had the most consistent games all season, Bruno is number one on that list. You cannot tell me anything different. Like, what I mean by most consistent games, he's always available, never injured. Even the one time he was injured, he was out for just one game, but he still maintained that consistency. With swollen ankles, he comes back the next day and he's fine. It's like the guy is just on some kind of high or something, but he's always there. He's always available, always putting in good performances. Last season, 19 goals, 19 assists. Yet it's still not enough. People want him to go. People want him to leave. People say, "Oh, get Bruno out of my club." It's high time. It's high time. Ineos are. Ooh, what a shot! Ooh, two saves. A shot from Vinny, who had the second shot. Brahim Diaz. Yeah, two hefty saves. Let's see. So Vinny gets the ball, squares it across the 18-yard box. Yeah, two saves one from Kylian Mbappe, and the other from Brahim Diaz. So Bruno gives his all. He came. I went back in time. 2020 January 30th to be precise, 2020, Man United signed Bruno for £46.5 million from Sporting with 8 million pounds in add-ons. Nobody's talking about his price tag. Nobody's talking about how much value he has brought to the team. Nobody's talking about how much it cost us to get Bruno Fernandes. But we got a 25-year-old Bruno Fernandes just the same way we've signed a 25-year-old Matheus Cunha and 26-year-old Bryan Mbeumo, or 26-year-old Matheus Cunha and 25-year-old Bryan Mbeumo. We got a 25-year-old Bruno Fernandes who has given us 5 to 6 years of his career for Man United. 5 to 6 of his peak years. And was still delivering. Scoring over 10 goals and even getting over 5-6 assists per season. Like, last season he got 9. Ooh. So, Real Madrid are peppering Juventus. Real Madrid are peppering Juventus with shots. Now, got 19 goals, 19 assists last season. Yet, he's still giving pelters. He's still giving. Was Garcia? Good save. He's still giving pelters. He's still not even given a chance to even play. And he's one of the players that I know that has not been given a chance to even play at Man United. But it is what it is. We have to just keep going. We have to just keep, supporting our team and backing our players. Final take on I had a bit of a network issue, but we're back. Final thoughts on like the bigger picture and all that. We're heading into the final stretch, and it's time, for these to thread everything together. We've seen on-pitch heroics, since Sunday, and the tactical skirmishes and the clear path which is being laid out for the club's future. We cannot lie about that there's a clear tactical path. And I saw another content creator came out on on TikTok today, and said that, okay, now that Man United have won, we are not seeing anything about, the system is the problem, whether it's his system is not working, blah blah blah. All people are saying is that they are trying to find new angles and to criticize the club or criticize Amorim, but he shut them up and told them to, continue your narrative. I'm not here to kind of try to defend the narrative and everything. So yeah, the final detail from the. Bear in mind, Bruno's best midfield has played with Bruno's best midfield he played with was with Pogba, Herrera, and Matic. Yep, facts. Since then, he's been given woeful players around him in that position, yet he still puts numbers. It makes sense to hate. Yep. That's ITN saying. Now, I thought about this the other day, and I'm going to remind you. Do you remember when Pogba was here and all the talk that we had? Jonathan David just comes in for Juventus, replaces Dusan Vlahovic, then I think he's going to get a goal. Do you remember when Pogba was playing for Man United and all the talk around Pogba was first of all, it was his best position. Second of all, it was his midfield partner. You remember that? It was a talk for Pogba, I think 3 years running. His midfield partner. Who is the best midfield partnership for him? He also still had, what's his name? He also still had Bruno there. He also, at some point though, in 2020, he also still had, what's his name? He also still had Herrera. He had Matic at some point. And Bruno played with Matic, Herrera, and also played with Mata. And Mata could not even make that midfield because I think Mata's position as a midfielder was fading away. You know, him, I remember Mata, David Silva, and one other player were all Valencia players at a point. These three musketeers. It was Juan Mata, David Silva, and somebody. Maybe if I check, I'll remember. Juan Mata, David Silva, and a third player. Just give me it. Played for Valencia. Just give me a sec. Yes, David Villa. That's what it says. Just give me a sec. Yeah, Juan Mata, David Silva, and David Villa. David Silva went to Man City. Juan Mata went to Chelsea and eventually went to Man United. And David Villa went to Barcelona. Come here. The same team. Yeah, it's David Villa. I remember three of them, three musketeers. Right? And the Villa went on to achieve great things at Man City, at Barcelona. Then David Silva went on to achieve great things at Man City, winning leagues and stuff. And then you have Juan Mata winning Champions Leagues and stuff at Chelsea and moving on to Manchester United. So, I mean, he played with those players, right? He played with those players and still thrived. Bruno still thrived. In 2020, when it was COVID year, and when things were kind of going some type of way, he was delivering. Remember, 30th January, I know where I was, 30th January 2020, where he moved. And you can see him, lanky guy, 25 years old, that's given 5-6 years. That's what you get when you sign a player in that mold. And that's potentially what we'll get with Mbeumo and Cunha. You know, 5 years down the line, from here, 2030, we'll be talking about this, and I hope my United fans don't hate on him and stuff, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's pretty much what we have for you today. I don't think there's any much on our list with regards to. Oh yeah, I forgot to say this one. This was from Alexis Sanchez and the United Dream. So it's easy to forget past signings, basically, with regards to that. But a quote from Alexis Sanchez about why he joined United is a poignant reminder of 78 minutes done, Real Madrid 1, Juventus 0. Let's see. Okay. So it's a poignant reminder of the club's enduring gravitational pull. If you remember that game where I think Man United were 2-0 down and we came from behind with Pogba scoring 2, Sanchez crossing 1, and all of that and then Chris Smalling scoring the third goal. It was a sick game, I remember that. So Alex Sanchez says, since I was a young lad, I've always had a dream of playing for Man United, the biggest club in England and world too. I left Arsenal because I wanted to develop as a player, get to experience a new club and win everything, every trophy. Otherwise, I don't have to come here. The dream, the ambition, I mean, is what every player who signs for Man United carries. If you remember Van Persie as well, the names change, the managers change, but the ambition to be the biggest, to win everything is what defines the club as Manchester United. So let's wrap it up. What did we learn in the last 24 to 48 hours? Fernandes, will still be criticized anyway, but I don't know why Man United fans are the way they are. Harry Maguire comes up clutch all the time. Amorim's tactics is still being talked about. I've never heard the media say anything, and that's what happens when you shut them up. We won against Sunderland. They said it's only Sunderland. Now we've won against Liverpool, and they've shut up. When we won against Chelsea, they said, it's because that was a long throw from Courtois. But yeah, that was good defending from Juventus. Now, when we won against Chelsea, they said, oh, because we were one man down, right? But the tactics is still being criticized unfairly by opponents. But the data proves that his team is dominant in the crucial second ball battle. Patrick Dogo also a statistical anomaly, despite the fact that people are claiming to use eye test. He's an offensive phenomenon, and that is what basically Amorim wanted in his strikers, in his attacking midfielders or wing backs, as case may be. He wants them to be versatile, wants them to be involved in the attack, wants them to, do everything that necessary. His sky is so high, his ceiling is high. The club is targeting elite world-class midfielders and midfield anchors. We talked about Matheus yesterday, and today we're talking about we talked about Matheus Cunha as well. Today we're talking about Elliot Anderson. But the victory at Anfield wasn't just a 3-point boost, it was a cultural moment. It validated Amorim's system, which we always talked about. It proved that the mental fortitude of his players, and it also set a clear, ambitious and exciting path for the rest of 25-26 season, and long may it continue. We need to continue to find a way to win more games, at least get 2 or 3 more games on the bounce. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, ITN, for always jumping on and having your say. Just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, drop in your comments even after you've watched the live or you missed the live. Just drop in your comments. Let's have conversations. We can have really meaningful conversations. I and ITN and a couple of other guys who come on, we always have deep conversations and all of that. Yeah, so let's be hopeful that Man United can grab a win against Brighton. I think the next video you might see today is a video on Brian Bumo, and the next one will be on Matheus Cunha, and then I think one more on Harry Maguire. So be on the lookout for those ones until we get the spine. Yeah, ITN is saying until we get a spine in place, e.g. goalkeeper, central back, central midfielder, and centre forward, that is crucial. The sides, you can be flexible. Yeah, on the other sides. So he's saying until we get that spine sorted, the centre backs, the goalkeeper, centre back, central midfielder, probably if I want to include the attacking midfielder and the forward, central forward, then every other thing aligns. Juventus have a chance, square the play, and okay. Until we get those ones, all the other sides, like the wing backs and stuff, will be sorted. So we have our center back sorted. Hopefully, we don't get any injuries whatsoever. We don't have our central midfield sorted. We need bodies. We need like two athletic central and defensive midfielders, so maybe versatile midfielders as well, ones who can defend and ones who can carry the ball. Vinny's been subbed off, Brahim Diaz has been subbed off. Real Madrid 1-0. Let's go back to hate watching and see what Liverpool are doing. Liverpool are smoking Frankfurt 5-1. Ketike, Van Dijk, Konate, Gakpo, and Szoboszlai. Sick. That is mad, man. Anyway, Chelsea are still 5-1 up. Bayern Munich are 4-0 up. And Sporting has scored their goal, and it's 1-1. So, this is what it is. So, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I don't take this for granted. I'll see you on the next one. We'll do more videos and you see those ones. I need to do deep dives because we need to be, breaking down some of these things before, so that people can get a sense of an idea of the kind of players that Man United signed, especially how they've performed this season. Thank you so much. I really appreciate ITN and all of you in the chat and the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Goodbye and God bless.